watching on Warchant TV to like and subscribe as we get underway here and I get all my technical stuff together. Like and subscribe so that others can find the show, obviously. And for those of you listening on 93.3 Real Talk Radio, thank you so much for that as well. Didn't come out with a bunch of bluster today. Don't feel that in me. Can't fake that today for obvious reasons. I think the overwhelming sadness of the events of the last 24 hours make that a little bit difficult. I will admit, and I always want to be transparent on the show, so that's another reason for having sort of an even keel beginning. It's been an interesting day. Today's my son finished 8th grade, and no matter how frivolous I think and silly sort of elementary and middle school graduations are, one can't help but think on a day like today that we should appreciate those, that we should take the time to appreciate those. There are people who wish they could. So my thoughts are elsewhere a little bit today. Not going to be like this for 2 hours. We're going to be all right. We'll talk sports because I also know that as conflicted on a given day as I might feel, and by the way, I've got the greatest job in the world. I am really cognizant of that pretty much every day I come in here. Every day that I get up and I'm paid pretty well to talk sports, to entertain, to laugh, to goof off, and to go home and get to be with my family and then come back and do it again the next day. I couldn't be luckier. I'm aware of that. It's only on days like this or days where there is something overwhelming in magnitude that makes sports feel very frivolous, at times meaningless, that it can be difficult because you don't want to fake it. You don't want to come in and, it's kind of my job to do that if I have a headache. It's kind of my job to do that if I'm frustrated about an aspect of my, personal life, or something happened within the family, or frustrations about work that needs to be done at the house. Like, I always feel like nobody wants to hear that. They come here to escape and have fun, and you get your ass in there and you hype it up and have a good time because you're the luckiest guy in the world and you get to talk sports for a living. So don't worry about the fact that you need to put a new roof on your house. T-Spark will get you. Don't do that. But when it comes to stuff like the tragedy that we see all too often anymore, like what happened yesterday in Texas, it is tough. It can be tough to summon the zeal and the exuberance and the gusto and all of the over the top bravado and all of that that works within the context of a fun, engaging, energetic, well-paced radio program. So forgive me if the energy is not as it's not to the level that I like it to be on a daily basis. So didn't want to start the show under a false pretense. So but I am again well aware of the extreme good fortunes that I have in my life, and hopefully a lot of you have in yours on a regular basis. But it's good to have Tommy back. It feels like it's been, just because of circumstance, a while, buddy.
Yeah, well, I would say as frivolous as you believe it to be. Congratulations, Bryce. I will say it's not frivolous at all. You've completed middle school. There you go. Yeah. On to the next. And as you know, those next 4 years are wild. Just the different person that you are when you actually graduate. That's what you would say, when you actually graduate from something, versus frivolously graduating.
Well, being pushed through. Everybody gets through middle school. They damn sure make sure of it. But yes, you're right. And I should say congratulations to him. And my 6th grader is excited to be done with school today. And
Clark, I hope your 6th grade graduation went phenomenally.
Yeah. No.
I hope that bus ride isn't too bumpy for you.
Yeah, that kid. He's you know what, I'll share this with you. So I think sometimes, certainly your kids, I mean, like everybody else, my heart weighed heavy yesterday, and I'm not good. Nobody's good at seeing carnage. Nobody's good at watching, or reading about, or hearing, or listening, or in any way grasping that little kids have been murdered. But when you, I guess, I mean, I'm pretty much a guy that wears my emotions on my sleeve. So I guess at one point as I was going to bed, because I refused to sit and watch on a loop the news in general. I refuse to do that, but I especially refuse to do that when it's something this dark and this tragic. But I'm sure it was written all over my face. So I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I was like, that's it. I'm turning the TV off. I don't need to see this. I'm going to go watch hockey. I'm going to go, and this is where sports is an escape, and this is where sports talk show is an escape, and I'm aware of that, and so it is that you come in and you do the job, and as you should.
And as those things go, those were good games last night.
Yeah, the Rangers were not having it right off the bat. Carolina can't win on the road. By the way, the Lightning are going to the finals, but so this is just,
whoa,
stop it,
easy,
stop it. Those two teams are BS. Anyhow, I'm not buying Carolina or New York, but that's okay. That's okay. Let them duke it out. I hope they go 7.
There we go.
I hope they go 7 and beat the hell out of each other. Yeah. So what I will tell you is that, so I go to bed, I go to turn that on in the back and just kind of veg out. And I guess Clark could tell that, like, I was in thought, and he comes in to give me a hug. And I go, hey, Dad's going to go to bed a little early tonight, buddy. Going to watch a little hockey and laying here. I'm not going to sleep right now, but I'm going to watch a little hockey and just kind of veg out back here. And I said, make sure. And I was just giving him the order of things, like, listen, close to 9 o'clock, I want you to brush your teeth.
PEMDAS, parentheses, exponent.
Yeah. I need you to do this, this, and this. And I want your lights out by 10, that kind of thing. And he goes, so I have a question for you. And I'm like, oh, man. After a day like today, I'm like, what's coming, And unfortunately, I think as parents, those of you out there who are, especially of kids in elementary or middle school, you've had to answer some of those questions that are a little bit difficult when your kid sees stuff like this. But I thought that's what was coming. I was really worried about it. And it wasn't that at all. He wants to know if he can get his ears pierced. That was the question.
Oh, man.
That was the question, was, Dad, can I get my ears pierced? Now, here's the funny part about that. And I've talked about this on the air. At one time, back when I had hair, a lot of it, everywhere, like same length, Bono-esque, all the way, I had all that.
Yeah. There's something really quickly as a sidebar. Did you see the article Boston Tech yesterday? This is not a joke. It's not April Fool's joke.
No,
Obviously, It's not April 1st. But there is a study that's in advanced phases, or it's for an alopecia pill, that in 44% of people, this is preliminarily, hair grows back, full head of hair.
Oh, boy.
Now, if that was in play,
would I use
is your identity too far in one direction, or would you entertain the idea? Because it's not my real hair, quote unquote. It would be for real.
It would be my real hair.
If that's possible, would you do it?
I don't think so.
I saw it at 2:52 p.m. yesterday, or else I would have brought it to the attention of both of you guys at Headlines.
Yeah, me and Corey especially.
It would have been a perfect question for you.
What's fun about bald guys is we argue which bald guy is more bald. I have more hair than Corey. And I point that out as if it means something. Like the minuscule amounts of hair that I have, it's thicker and better than
he's going to be denied an access to a place because
listen, if we must go ahead, fill my scalp. There's some hair there. You got nothing.
Wasn't here James Carville?
You couldn't grow it if you wanted to. So here's the thing. I had a lot of hair and I had a bunch of earrings. And when I went away at East Tennessee State, the coach there, the first day I was there, was enraged. I mean, they were furious that I had grown it out throughout my senior year. The only reason I did was because at the start of the season, I told Tommy Carter, I'm going to grow my hair until we lose. I was like, and we went undefeated. So it got funnier and funnier. It was like, this is amazing. And then it became like, well, screw it. Now I'm never going to never cut my hair. But the bottom line is, he knows, my son knows, that I once had a ton of hair at a pretty young age, grew it really long to the point where I was frequently disparaged as a hippie, whatever else. And I had 3 earrings and I wore these giant hoops.
The bum's lost, Cameron.
Yeah. I had in descending order. They were big, medium, small. I had those kind of hoops. I had everything going. I was a pirate. And so he's like, "Oh, wait a minute, Dad. You can't tell me that if I want to make some sort of a whatever fashion statement or whatever that I can't. Like, you can't get mad at me for asking you that." I said, "Well, I'm mad at you for asking. You can ask anything you want. Doesn't mean I'll grant the wish, but you can ask anything you want. By all means, the door is always open." So I told him that the answer was no for now, and that we'll talk about it later. But that never works with kids. It never works that, like, because I just wanted some time to talk it through with him when we had more time and it wasn't at the end of the night. And, I want to be in the right headspace. And the answer is going to be no if you're listening, Clark, until you get to high school. But the point would be,
what grade in high school?
Ninth or 10th, somewhere in there.
Really?
Yeah. But
okay.
What was happening was.
You are a hippie.
So what ended up happening was that, basically he saw this as a deflection on not wanting to talk about the issue. And I said, no, we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it later. I'm going to watch hockey right now and decompress. And he didn't want to hear that. And that's how that went. But I was really worried that it was going to be the other conversation, which is tough to wrap your head around.
The irony of your brother being an air traffic controller. There is no proverbial air traffic controller in the world that can reroute Clark.
That is correct. And that is a really solid analogy on your part.
Yep.
I will give to you our thoughts, you and I, because we were just having the discussion mere moments ago before the show started about how the show was going to go and what we were going to talk about. But you and I went through something that I attempted to do a little bit of yesterday on Seminole Headlines and didn't get to. But we went through talking about the potential starting five of the offensive line and the variations of and what that looks like and what it means to have picked up the commitment from Charlotte transfer D'Mitri Emmanuel. And, I know Ira wrote a column for us on Warchant.com about what Pro Football Focus's grades were from the past season. That's one way of looking at it, betting it. Again, a lot of times when we have to look at PFF, I understand it's never PFF, that is. And this is true in general. It is not the be-all, end-all of assessing what a player is or is not. There are a lot of faults with PFF and a lot of flaws to the way they go about their ranking system, in my opinion. But it's not without some merit. It's not without some means by which to analyze, especially when you couple it with other forms of analyzing a player's abilities. And when we look at PFF a lot of times we get very depressed because it does seem to be a spot-on indicator of exactly how bad our offensive line typically is. It's not true of all players at all places. Seems to be really accurate when it comes to our inability to block people.
No, if you see orange and yellow, you're like, they had a good game. And that's not a good thing.
No.
Because yellow is average.
If I see yellow, I'm damn near taking off my pants.
Yep, there it is.
I'm like, look at this. Yeah. Let's celebrate. We were yellow. We weren't bright red ass. Sorry. We were yellow.
I believe we've gotten zeros in the last 5 years.
So a couple players.
In at least an individual game, we've had zero grades.
We have had a player receive a zero. A zero.
Yeah.
That is akin to putting you, me, or air out there against the defender.
Right. Well, it's like getting a zero on the SAT because you get a baseline of several hundred points for just filling it out.
I think it's 200 for putting your name on it.
It could be correct. Yeah.
Something along
I forget.
Those lines.
It's been years.
It's been a long time, even longer for me, buddy.
But that's like getting a zero on the SAT.
Yeah,
and showing up and filling the whole thing out.
Yeah, we had a player, one particular player, more than once got less than 10.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
I believe that is the mantra of Nole fans walking out of the stadium.
With their hands to the sky.
Right.
This is what we're out here doing. This is what we're out here doing.
Tailgate's only a 5-minute walk away. Come on.
It's huge.
I know.
I know.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Is followed up by I know.
The cooler's cold.
That beer is cold, Jeff. We'll be there in mere minutes. Keep walking.
I know.
It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Congratulations to all the class of 2022 graduates.
Congratulations to Parker Bell at Childs High School. We're so incredibly proud of you and can't wait to see what the future has in store as you start at the University of Florida in the fall. Go Gators and congratulations.
If you'd like to send a congratulations message over the air to your graduate, just call the Lively Technical College Grad Star line at 850-523-7890.
Southeast Portable Buildings has storage sheds that range in size from as little as 6x8 or as large as 24x30 and everything in between. They offer multiple styles, materials, and color options to match your home, and they even have two-tone color options. You can choose between a steel frame or wood frame building. You know what you need to do? Call them today and go out and see them. 580-6400. That's 580-6400. Or visit them online at southeastportablebuildings.com.
You were always more than my mom. You were my role model, my best friend, and biggest supporter. You filled my days with unconditional love. And you also prepared for the day when you couldn't be here. Because of the woman you were back then, I'm able to be the woman I am now. Your planning made this moment possible.
Set your family up for life. Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance. Your friends for life.
This is Andy Cohen. When I was a law enforcement officer, I devoted my life to a career of service and protection. Who's protecting you? Give me a call. 850-671-FARM. That's 671-FARM. Helping you is what we do best.
Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi. Not licensed to do business in all 50 states.
The weather is unpredictable and can cause issues around your home. Weston Trawick provides commercial, residential, and industrial electrical wiring services, yearly inspections on fire alarms, portable generator sales, and so much more. With 24/7 emergency service and repair, Weston Trawick will be your calm in the storm. Give them a call at 514-0003. Weston Trawick. Professional electrical services day or night. Visit online at westontrawick.com.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable.
This is Kyle, service manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 Berry Bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com.
Florida license CAC 1816-186.
At Epps Decorating Center, we're your locally owned Benjamin Moore retailer. We're your store for quality with brilliant and durable paints in a variety of sheens and thousands of colors. We're your store for service with one-on-one advice for contractors and homeowners. We're your local experts, and we're here to help with all your painting projects. Benjamin Moore, available at Epps Decorating Center with 2 locations in Tallahassee. Find a store near you and visit EppsDecorating.com. That's EppsDecorating.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Hyperbole, or you can find sort of a PR spin to a quote when it involves personnel or it involves an organization and the person who represents that organization having to say something nice. But in this situation, Tom, tell me if you don't agree that this is a spot-on quote.
Oh, I thought you were going to quote me. Okay, so what did somebody else say?
What Mike Norvell said about graduate transfer D'Mitri Emmanuel. We are excited D'Mitri has joined the Noles family. Fair enough, seems believable. All right, I'm going to go parse this now. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to tell you I think that's an accurate thing. I believe that quote is accurate. I think he believes that. I'm going to repeat that very quickly. It's not the entirety of the quote, lest you start to fret. Quote reads, we are excited D'Mitri has joined the Noles family. Believable. Very believable. I think that is true. I think with this offensive line, if I found out the news that D'Mitri Emmanuel had joined this group, I'd say, all right, that sounds good to me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're pleased. We are pleased. In fact, I might even say we are excited. Go ahead and put that down, Derek. I'm excited that this happened. Anything else, Coach? Anything you want to add? We're sitting out the release, the official release. Do you want to add to your quote beyond we're excited that D'Mitri has joined the Noles family? Sure, Derek. I will. Here's what I'll say about D'Mitri. He brings a tremendous amount of starting experience. That is true. He does. That is accurate. That's a 100% accurate statement. He started 25 games. 25 games. That is an inordinate amount of starting experience. So as we continue down the line, all true. Spot the lie. There isn't one so far. Here it is. He brings a tremendous amount of starting experience and proven leadership qualities to our program. Now, you might say, how do you know that? Well, remember, your offensive coordinator and offensive line coach coached D'Mitri Emmanuel at Charlotte. So if you weren't sure what kind of leader he was, you could walk right down the hall and ask Coach Atkins, what kind of leader is this kid? Is he going to bring a lot of not only experience, but leadership qualities to this team? Absolutely, Coach. All right, throw that in there, Derek. We're good. We're good. We got that. Yeah. D'Mitri has been an all-conference performer. He has. That is true. Another true part of this quote. This is amazing. All right. He's been an all-conference performer as part of successful teams. That is true, too. That is true, too. Charlotte was briefly, during D'Mitri's time, one of the surprise teams of the conference. That is true. That is true. And his blocking has helped playmakers shine. Now, he gets to incorporate part of his mantra and illuminate a truth about D'Mitri Emmanuel. That is all in that quote. We're not done. The truth just keeps on flying. D'Mitri will help us continue to develop by adding more competition amongst our offensive line. Well, now there we go. A 100% accurate statement and quote from Mike Norvell regarding an incoming player. Bravo. And that doesn't mean that I'm being snarky towards Mike Norvell as if he is some sort of perpetual truth bender.
I don't cheat and I don't lie.
No. That is not it. That is not it at all, because one of the things I've really enjoyed about Mike Norvell in his time as a head coach here at Florida State is his willingness to be truthful and to tackle these issues head on and to allow for access to prove otherwise. So, yes, sir. Well done. Not being snarky. It is just very rare that you glean the truth from any statement from any coach anywhere about anything. And we have a quote here that is 100% accurate. Point for point for point. And I thought that warranted me scrutinizing the entirety of an otherwise banal quote. So I did. 25 games, including 24 consecutive starts from 2019 through 2021. He started at left tackle, he started at right tackle, and he started at left guard. So, of course, he'll play center here. Now, the point is...
Don't run with that, people. It's a joke.
He could. We need one. Possibly. We'll see. I'm just happy. And if Alex Atkins is giving the okay on this kid and speaking that highly of him to Coach Norvell enough to say, yeah, we need to get him. It would be a good idea. I think the guy that we trust the most here on staff, for the most part, is Alex Atkins. I think we feel good about his coaching ability, his assessing, his teaching, all of it.
Yeah, you just wonder, this is what we're going to use fall camp for, is did Atkins not see enough out of anybody else in the 2 deep outside of the
that
4 or 5
correct.
that we know?
The answer is that is correct.
All right. So that's part of a true quote. There you go.
Mhm.
We're just, this is a big truth-telling segment.
I rang the doorbell. I mean, I rang the bell, period, about not seeing enough while we were in spring, to the point where people got mad because every day I'd come in here and I'd go,
Okay. So is Atkins looking at this player as an emergency option or a starter? That let me cut to the chase then. That's the question.
He's looking at him as a guy who's going to compete for a starting job. He may or may not win said starting job. He's looking at this kid as a chance to come in. He has a chance to come in, I believe, 100%. Now, this is my opinion. I'm not speaking for Alex Atkins, but you asked me my opinion. So it is this. He is bringing him in to compete for a starting job. Now, that is a win-win situation. If he doesn't win the starting job, it means somebody you already have on the roster who went through spring, had stepped up his game enough to warrant starting over D'Mitri and Emmanuel, and that's a good thing. If the kid wins the job, then thank goodness you brought him in, because you just found yourself a bona fide starter and upgraded your 5.
Yeah, for me, this was our off-the-air conversation. I'm looking for him at right guard. That's where I'm going to be looking to see if he lines up early in camp. This was the whole deal. If you couldn't get the unicorn tackle, and Florida State was, I don't know if you heard this, tied to a unicorn tackle for some time. If you can't get that guy, interior is okay, because I wasn't convinced with what I saw from Darius Washington at right guard. Now, he could get better. They could reshape his body to put himself in a better position to be an interior offensive lineman.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought Bless Harris and Darius Washington.
Harris?
Well, what I do know is he was better than I thought he was going to be. That's what I know about
I think
Bless
we all
Harris.
agree with that, yeah.
But right guard was not an obvious, you didn't have an obvious answer there. And maybe that's what he's brought in to do. So that's where I'm looking first couple of weeks of camp is D'Mitri Emmanuel working with the 1s, the 2s, wherever, specifically at right guard. Because what's interesting is, according to the release, he had never played right guard. Shouldn't matter that much, though. If he can play right guard, then I feel a whole lot better about the 5 together that we're going to have.
Hope we get another one. I'd like to bring in another one. I don't know if there's anybody out there that warrants us utilizing a position. But I know they're looking at a JUCO kid as well. You presumably have a couple years with him. So, we'll see. I want to go back. Yesterday, a gentleman by the name of Allen was, I think, frustrated with me. He thought my negativity overwhelmed the show yesterday.
That apparently is true, because the director is nodding and laughing over here.
Well, no, the point is, I asked Allen what was it that, what was his projection? I want to see where his head was at. It's one thing to say you're overly negative. It's another to tell me, what do you think this team is, so I can see if you're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and not a realist, or do you have some sort of reasonable explanation for your opinion of what this team will or will not be? And I wanted to see it. So the point would be, he said something. Did what he say, director? 8-9 wins or something like that, right? So 8 seems like on the high end there. I can get down with that. All right, but I do think, more to the point, that the moves they've made have made Florida State a better football team. So I can just say that without any sort of
qualifier.
Well, yeah, I was going to say qualifier, but I don't have to. There's no caveat to any of this. They are better than they were. The personnel they've brought in, specifically that they've brought in this regard, has improved this football team. No caveat, no qualifier, nothing. That is true. And both things can be true. You can say they are better. I don't know if they're good enough to get to where we want them to be. And where I think the overwhelming majority of our fan base wants this team to be. Beyond, we're not talking about fairy tales here. No pie in the sky nonsense. Nobody thinks this team is competing to win the national championship, for example. Okay, so you just throw out, we have to define our terms when we have this conversation. I think most Florida State fans, in an effort to define their terms, I bet you the majority of them would say, I would be over the moon with an 8-4 campaign. 8-4, Would you agree with that? Or 9-3, you're over the moon.
Over the moon.
9-3.
9-3.
9-3,
yeah.
you're over the moon.
You've won a game that you go, holy bleep, they won that game, and it's not against a North Carolina fraud.
So, over the moon if they go 9-3. 8-4, satisfied. Happy, satisfied to happy?
That's a firm handshake. 8-4.
You know when you go to the doctors and they ask you where your pain level is at, and they have the picture on the wall there with the guy's face that coincides with the level of pain that he feels?
We should create one of those.
Yeah.
For the win totals.
I always crack up when I see that picture, first of all. I've taken a picture of it numerous times while sitting in the doctor's office just so I could go back at it and look at it and back and look at it later because it makes me laugh. So every time I say that, I see that, I'm always like, when you see that picture and the guy's at a 9, he is this close to walking out of the doctor's office to hang himself. You can see it. Like, you see the look on that character's face. He's like, I don't have much time, doc. I'm not, if this is the way I got to live, we ain't doing this. That's the level of pain that he's at. So if I said, if that chart existed for Florida State football, 8-4, if you're looking at the coinciding picture, it's just a mild irritation. It's not this, distorted, anguished face. It's sort of a, all right, little 8-4 action. Real improvement. We're going to be okay. 9-3, it's like, oh my God, there. That's not the one, but you found a chart, which is good. By the way,
I searched pain tolerance map 1 to 10 doctor's office. That's what I got.
I'll find another one for you. I'll find the one at my doctor's office, but these are good. I'm glad that you threw up the Google search. Put those back up for a second. This is just,
I just closed the window.
You should have left them up because it's funny. That guy that's a 9, in a weird way, I think he's worse off than the dude that's a 10. He's just steady crying in the corner, red-faced and weeping. This guy's like, oh, because the guy at 9 had expectations where the guy at 10 is just like, he doesn't even know what's going on in the world. It's just, Whereas 9's like, oh, I'm so disappointed. Anyhow, save it for later. It's okay. It's a great song, by the way. You can use it later in the show. I'll show you the one. I know there's one that I use that is even better than that.
Is it a human face?
No, it's a little drawing.
Okay.
And it's not a round, happy face, sad face type guy. It's like he shows the level of anguish that you get on your face, like the emotions one has on their face when you're winning, losing, nervous. You know what? You know who wasn't nervous as we go to break? This guy watching the Lightning dominate that ass on Sunday. What a day at the office.
On Sunday. Yeah, you brought them. That was the best. Yes, that was the best they've had all playoffs. I was trying to remember back to the fullness of that game. That looked different. It was
amazing.
That was cup worthy, that effort right there.
It was clinical.
You had pretty good seats too, didn't you?
I did.
You were in section what, 118?
I don't remember the section. 124.
124? 122 is where I went all those years. I was like, oh, he's only 2 to the left.
Yeah. 124. 124. And most of the goals happened where I was.
They sure did, didn't they?
Yeah, and it was glorious. But most of them were scored by Tampa Bay.
Well, the Stamkos goal after that, because that sequence was nuts. Oh, you took in a great one.
Yeah, and the Stamkos goal, as soon as it left his stick, I was like standing. So there it is. There it is. Get you 100 miles per hour for that ass. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Governor Ron DeSantis announced nearly $9 million in funding for Gaston County communities for infrastructure and economic development projects across the county. This funding is provided by the Department of Economic Opportunity and will help construct, rehabilitate, and expand critical infrastructure within Gaston County to support community resiliency. A Florida law intended to punish social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter for allegedly discriminating against conservative thought has been ruled to be an unconstitutional violation of the First Amendment. A 3-judge panel at 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals unanimously concluded that it was overreach for Republican Governor Ron DeSantis and the GOP-led Florida legislature to tell the social media companies how to conduct their work. The ruling upholds a similar decision by a Florida federal judge on the 2021 law. It was part of an overall conservative effort to portray social media companies as hostile to conservative ideas. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Chance for scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, overcast skies. Highs level off around 86. South winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight. Lows dip down to about 73. Overcast skies. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 84. Cloudy skies expected. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 86.
What do you need tires on? Your car or truck? Tractor or heavy equipment? At Nice Tire and Auto Service, we have tires for all of these needs. And we service your vehicle from air conditioning and computerized alignment to oil changes and everything else under the hood. Call Nice Tire and Auto today at 574-4100. That's 574-4100 for your scheduled maintenance. National accounts welcome at Nice Tire and Auto Service, 4792 Bluntstown Highway, just west of Capitol Circle.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
With Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Smile on their face as you gazed upon the moment and gave them a big old hug and celebrated with them. And if you didn't get a chance to do that this afternoon because you're working, for example, hopefully you get to tonight. Let's pull this up, shall we?
What is this?
This is the ACC network. This is
Oh, I have the answer to this. If you're talking about what's going on in the chat regarding the baseball tournament.
Well, I was perturbed yesterday as it happened. But I think somebody did just allude to this during the chat. Yeah. James writes, I just checked the ACC network lineup for this afternoon. The ACC network is showing a replay of an old Clemson football game instead of the baseball tournament. Uneffing believable. Preston wrote, I truly believe the ACC network is purposely sabotaging to tank the value of the conference. Yeah, the games are on ESPNU. I know. But you would like to believe, I mean, as of yesterday, for example, results were happening and you could not see the games. Not on the ACC network.
Right.
So, rather remarkable. Rather remarkable. So today at 3:00, when, by the way, Florida State is playing, you're going to get the Cheez-It Bowl.
Right.
6:00, you're going to get the spring game from Florida State. You will get the Miami-Florida State game tonight from last year at 8:00 in prime time. And I would tell you that if you want to smile and you want a reason to smile, and I think we all do, we could get after that.
Yeah, so I'd clarify one thing, that the baseball game is not on ESPNU television. It's on ESPNU radio on SiriusXM. It's on the Bally Sports app. FSU Baseball tweeted this out earlier today, that it's not going to be, in the state of Florida, today's game is not going to be on your normal Bally Sports Sun, formerly Sunshine Network, or your Bally Sports Florida, FS Florida. That's what that used to be. It's not going to be on either of those channels because the Rays and the Marlins are both playing. So you're screwed. You're screwed on proper television. Now you can get the game on your Bally Sports app, which if you've got a cable provider with those channels, you can pull it up on your app and stream it on your television that way. So that's the public service announcement. It will not be on your television box. It won't be there. It will be in the Bally Sports app. You've got to log in and do that thing if you're an Xfinity or whoever, and then you can pull it up. So there it is. It's not on ACC Network. Clear. It's on RSNs.
You know, I've been, and everybody who knows me will attest, a big champion for the Bally Sports app. I don't know how many times over the years I've told people, would you get with the getting already and get yourself that Bally Sports app? It's everything.
Now, the only question I have, and just to confuse everybody all the more, is if you get ESPN Plus or ACC Network, can you log on to it and get it that way? Because in years past you could, but I'm not sure. Around 3 o'clock, I'll have that answer. So won't help you any. We're off the air.
Yeah, you're screwed. So, by the way, Preston asked this question, and it's going to give me an opportunity to answer another question, or at least shine a light on something here that I think is important. Director Matthew knows where I'm about to go. Preston writes, Jeff, would you toss $50 on FSU at 30-1 to win the ACC? Well, Preston, I gamble irresponsibly, and I have some money. So I do these things frequently because if I lose the $50, it's not going to bother me. However, there are a lot of people who listen to this show who ought not do that and understand that I'm not telling them that just because I do that, they should do that. I'm not going to put anybody on blast, but I got a very interesting message last week.
From the sports book or from...
No, I got an interesting message from a person who listens to this show.
I'm broke because of you?
Basically.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. And I tried to be nice. And was nice, to which I got a ridiculous
What's
response.
your Venmo? Let me send you $20.
No, that's certainly not what I was going to do, but it was ridiculous. So I just wanted to note that just a little, here is the qualifier. Just because I let you into my life on a daily basis, which includes my betting habits, doesn't mean that you should take that as gospel on your day-to-day activities in regards to your hard-earned money. Okay? You do whatever you think you should do, could do, can handle doing. And I'll do me.
So get down or lay down. The question is, Tom, would you bet $50 on Jeff betting $50? I mean,
well, Preston points out
what's
that
the return on my investment? Get down
yeah.
You know, is it like minus 75,000? So I get a cent or two. If you're giving me even odds, I'm taking that bet every time. But if you're giving me the odds that should be laid on Jeff betting $50, there's no point. There's no ROI.
Preston made me laugh, though. He said, I already have. I was asking if you would personally. Yeah, that's a funny follow-up. Yeah, I would. A little burp there.
Excuse you.
Yeah, I would. But I have no faith in this baseball team
that
right
Triscuit
now.
Was delightful.
I've kind of gotten to a place where I'm largely ignoring our baseball team. Kind of have my hands in the air.
Wait a minute. So you're in a place where if it's difficult to find them, you're not going to.
Well, I've got the Bally Sports app, so you know. But I was saying that I'm not. My daily activities may or may not include, for certain teams, a real concerted effort to see them. You have to give me valid reason to do so other than my job. You have to say, like, oh, we present ourselves. You can be flawed. You can have any number of, issues that I can forgive and forget and soldier on. Then there are these teams you kind of like, you wasting my time over here. I could go play golf with Tom today.
Well, I'm glad I know that that's a better experience for you than watching baseball right now.
Oh, I'm sorry, Preston. I'm still not getting this right. I just figured we might be 50-1 to win the baseball tournament.
Oh, you did? I knew that was football the whole way.
No, I really think the baseball team's so sorry that we could
30-1. Oh my God. That would be, you insta bet that if it's the baseball tournament. We've had way worse teams. Just, I mean, clean up up there.
I know. I'm half kidding, but yeah, it ain't pretty.
If it was baseball, that is instant. You go ahead. Pay window.
And you're throwing your $50 to the air.
Much less so than the football bet. 30 that value is insane. If that was literally the baseball value, that would be off the charts. To play.
You would have to enter the market. I understand. You'd see that and say, okay, I'm in. But dude, that effort this last week, we haven't spoken since Meat said after the series win against Miami, where the bats inexplicably woke up.
Ouch, man, the tables have turned.
No. Hold on. He said after that game, I have a feeling this won't be the last time we see these home fans. Well, I'm glad he does. I hope he doesn't trust his feelings and make these wagers, because what they promptly did was turn around and get their ass beat for the next 4 important RPI games. 2 of them were close. Anyhow,
yeah,
lost 4, and the last 2 were despicable. So what you're watching there is just we're 10-4, 11-0. What the hell are we doing out here?
Despicable. Pulling out of the Jimbo lexicon.
Despicable.
The wordsmith he is.
Just not even efforting.
I don't cheat and I don't lie.
Except that's the next line if he's being honest.
Except that one time.
And by one, I mean 1,000. But yes, I would it's hard to see them putting it all together. But you're right, it's an ACC tournament, and they've got 2 arms that, if they're right, will beat most teams. Them being right on the road is an interesting proposition because it is also rare.
Who's got 2 arms with 2 middle fingers for Jeff?
I hope
this pitching
the answer is Messick and Hubbard. If Hubbard decides he's going to show up on the road somewhere and not be all fidgety and goofy and can't wait to get out of there after an inning, that'd be nice. That'd be a great thing. It'd be stunning. It would be stunning, but it would be nice.
I feel like this is a montage at a major league with the angry fandom.
No, listen. How did you watch those games?
No.
Well, there you go.
That's why.
I'm you go.
Peace. I'm at peace.
See, you're reiterating what I just said, and then you're calling me negative.
Well, I'm at peace. I'm not negative.
You didn't even bother.
I'm a neutron,
no, that's
man.
called giving up on them.
No, I'm not charged
you're
either
not
way.
Negative or positive?
I'm a neutron.
But here's the deal. You didn't even effort to watch the games.
Well, I watched the Florida game. And then
that was a heartbreaker.
Game 1, the walk-off on Thursday, but Friday, Saturday, no, man. I did not. Especially when Friday went the way it did. I wasn't going to go line up for Saturday. No, sir. Because now the dream is dead for the regional. So I'll be back on that horse if they make this weekend. And, I'm going to be watching today. We got to talk about it tomorrow. But I'll be really on the horse as an invested fan for regional. No matter Oxford, wherever they go. Athens, who knows?
It's going to be hard for you to watch today, though. It's going to be hard. Not because of your emotions. Just going to literally be very difficult for you to watch today.
I don't have the Bally Sports app.
You can download it. I got it right here, buddy. You can download that sucker.
Actually, I don't have Bally Sports anymore. Because
neither do I have the app. And I use somebody else's login. Okay. No, I am a cheat.
You want to airdrop that over this way?
I'm a cheat. The great Matt Millar has every Bally Sports app that they have. anything. Their TV shows.
Then I already know the information.
We're all set. Yeah.
Same password since 09.
But that Bally Sports app, boy, that comes in handy when you're just driving down the road. You're like, oh, the Noles on today? No, not on any station you've ever heard of. But the Bally Sports app has got them. Then okay. Frustrating. What I hope is, obviously, all jokes aside, they show up, play well, and who knows? If you're going to compete, you might as well try to win the ACC championship.
Well, it would be just like them to follow up an 0-4 week with winning these 2 and then 2 in the weekend and hoisting an ACC title. Then you've been 500 over the last 2 weeks. Doesn't help you host a regional, but you're also an ACC champion. This would be very like them.
it would make me laugh, and it would be very like them. And it isn't crazy to think that it could happen because the ACC is what it is. I mean, and by the way, it's not just the ACC, it's baseball being baseball, which if you have a couple of arms who on their best day are capable of being really good, and they do have that, all jokes aside, all criticism aside, they have a couple of guys that when they're right, they're as good as anybody in the country. They've been less right lately. And that has been really frustrating because that's the one thing you thought you could depend on. Like, I didn't think, I'm going to fall back on their base running. No. Well, at least they'll pick it up. No. Well, they'll communicate on those in between. No, they're not going to do that. Well,
they'll nearly kill themselves running from second base out to the warning track in right field.
That's communication or lack thereof. They'll hit for power despite all those strikeouts. No. Well, at least they walk. Nope. Don't do that either. Last in the conference, in fact. Don't walk, don't hit for power, don't score a lot of runs. I think last in the conference in runs as well. Don't get on base to save their life. Don't pick up the baseball. Don't run the bases well. Don't communicate. But at least we've got those two aces that on their best day. That's what I was hoping to fall back on. And when they weren't good lately, I thought, well, good God, man. Do I have nothing to fall back on as we go into postseason? It's a legitimate question.
The legitimate question, Professor. Would you eat it?
I know I would. Wash it down with an ice cold Budweiser. If the moon were made
spare ribs.
Oh my goodness. Best spare ribs I've ever had. Minneapolis, right after the Pearl Jam show 10 years ago. Jeff Cameron Show, hour number 2, forthcoming. Stay with me.
Wooden Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Wooden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at widdenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Congratulations to all the class of 2022 graduates.
I would like to say congratulations to Trinity Mathis from Broadview High School. I hope all your years are very successful.
This is a shout out to Sadie Wolf, graduating from Childs High School, class of 2022. Your mom and dad love you, and we're so proud of you. Way to go, Sadie.
Call 850-523-7890 and leave us your messages for a graduate in your family. Congratulations from Envision Credit Union.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996. Refreshing and simple. 2 words you don't hear many people use to describe their experience going through the process of getting a home loan. That's what puts the Hamilton Home Loans experience in a category all their own. If you're buying or refinancing a home, Hamilton Home Loans will provide a personalized mortgage experience that is dedicated to making the process refreshingly simple. It all begins with an initial consultation with an experienced Hamilton Home Loans advisor to find out what your goals are in order to find the right mortgage to suit your specific needs. Then, your personal home loan advisor will take you through all the steps from application, underwriting, approval, and closing, all the way to the front steps of your new home. Once you've experienced the Hamilton Home Loan process, you can be a customer for life and never have to pay lender fees again. For first responders, nurses, physician assistants, teachers, active and retired military, ask about the Hamilton for Heroes program. Personalized attention with your needs put first. Now that's refreshingly simple. Find out more at HamiltonHomeLoans.com. That's HamiltonHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 200719.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. The 18-year-old gunman who killed 19 children and 2 teachers at a Texas elementary school barricaded himself inside a single classroom and began shooting anyone that was in his way. Lieutenant Christopher Oliveras with the Texas Department of Public Safety says Salvador Ramos also opened fire on officers.
They began breaking windows around the school, trying to evacuate children, teachers, anybody they could, trying to get them out of that building, out of that school. What we do know at that point, the shooter was able to make entry into a classroom, barricaded himself inside that classroom, and again, just began shooting numerous children and teachers that were in that classroom.
Lieutenant Oliveras speaking on the NBC Today show. In post on social media in the days and hours before the massacre, an account that appeared to belong to Ramos seemed to hint at plans of violence. World leaders commenting on the tragedy. In remarks to Parliament, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson offers his condolences.
Mr. Speaker, I want to begin by echoing what you've just said about the reports of the fatal shooting in a Texan primary school. Our thoughts are with all those affected by this horrific attack.
British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. Also at townhall.com, former Trump Press Secretary Sarah Sanders wins the GOP governor nod in the Arkansas primary election.
Former White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders won the Republican nomination for Arkansas governor after a campaign where she focused primarily on national issues and criticizing President Biden. Sanders was endorsed by her old boss, former President Trump, and shattered fundraising records since entering the race last year.
That's correspondent Bernie Bennett. Stocks shook off some early weakness and are now mixed in afternoon trading. The Dow is down 7 points. The NASDAQ up 108. More at townhall.com.
First, we decide where we want to go. Then we need to know the best way to get there. Hi, my name's Adam Barata. I'm the owner of Advantage Gold. We're the highest rated precious metals firm in the country. We teach people how to own physical gold and silver. Now, we've won the Best of TrustLink Award 4 years in a row because we educate our clients on how to buy gold and silver the right way. We don't pay celebrity spokespeople millions of dollars. We'd rather pass that value on to you. Call 800-900-8000 and speak with one of our experts. We'll send you a free gold kit along with my latest #1 national best-selling book, The Great Devaluation. Call 800-900-8000. That's 800-900-8000. Get the best information, the best process, the best service, the best value. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-8000. Call 800-900-8000.
Hi, my name is Shannon Pash, and I'm the principal at Red Hills Academy. We will provide a challenging, rigorous curriculum. We will also work with our students to teach them how to set goals and then how to work to reach those goals. Red Hills Academy will offer the Spanish language every day. Relationships are really important to us, not just with our students, but with our families and the community. This benefits parents and students alike because parents get that involvement within the school. Easily apply online today at redhillsacademy.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Number 1 was USC. Yeah. Looking at purported transfer portal rankings as done. Jared Jaw did that for CBS, and I was just I'm always looking at these things to see where we stand. He has Ole Miss second, and that would be because of Jackson Dart and Zach Evans, the running back that came over from TCU. They got the tight end from USC, which bothers me, Tom, because I'd like for us to get a tight end. Was waiting. It makes me laugh also, though, and as a reminder to understand that the grass isn't always greener. For example, Nebraska ranks high on this list. Now, I would suggest that they ought to, because they brought in Casey Thompson, the quarterback, who had been at Texas. They brought in the Mathis kid, who had been a defensive end at TCU, who was one of the best players in the Big 12 last year. They brought in Stephon Wynn from Alabama, defensive lineman, which how the hell they got him, I don't know. These are all wins for them.
Oh, yes, you do.
Well, I mean, they won 3 games last year.
Legal recourse of NIL.
They got to 3 wins last year there at Nebraska as part of a trend of winning 3 and 4 games. So that is something. Chubba Purdy is on that list of players that helps put them over the edge. I went, oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Texas is 4. The Hall kid from Alabama, high on the list, obviously. We know that. The Watts defensive back, though, from Ohio State, impressive. Why am I doing this? I'll get to the point. South Carolina's on this list. If you want to believe that getting Spencer Rattler is a huge addition for them, then by all means, go ahead and do that. I don't. I think he sucks. That's surprising that you would use him as the catalyst for your ranking. I would be like, probably going to drop them down. They got Spencer Rattler. But there you go. I was waiting to find us. We're not in there. And this is where I will say, again, it helps to take a closer look. I get that you're going to, for most of these guys, like if you bring in Quinn Ewers from Ohio State, you bring in the tight end from Alabama like Texas did. Oh, okay, that's probably a good bet. Those are huge additions. Likely were 5-star kids that you brought in. But back to our point last hour, where despite my negativity at times, I do agree, and per our thing that we did on Warchant TV, where I was on with Ira and Corey and Gene, and we were talking about the impact of the transfer portal players that Florida State has brought in. The damn near vast majority, if not all, but maybe 2, look like they're going to be starters. I'm just talking about the most recent, 10 players, 11 players?
Right.
Now 11. Yeah.
Yeah, they look like, if not starters, then they're going to be on the
those
field.
That contribute greatly.
Yes, absolutely.
So, I mean, how could that not be? And I don't care. These are lists. It's list season, everybody. We're in list season. This is when it happens, right? I mean, this is the time of year where everything is on a list. But when I looked at that list, I thought, well, if you want to be excited about something, be excited about a group that brings in 11 players via the transfer portal, and like 9 of them are going to start. That is filling needs.
Yeah, and you could extend that to some of the early enrollees, too, that look like good players. Like, it wouldn't surprise me. There's a video up on Warchant TV about it now, about the defensive tackles. Like, if Daniel Lyons is in the rotation by the end of the year, that would not surprise me. They're really talented at defensive tackle, but that kid could give you 10 to 15 reps that matter. And some of these other freshmen that came in, you could see, if not this year, sooner than later. The evaluation that they're doing is really good. You just hope they can evaluate better players, like baseline better players, so that they can continue the trend. But what they're working with, it looks like their contributors are here.
5 to 7 snaps. I don't think if he's doing 15 snaps, that's too soon. That's a lot.
I'm not saying week 1. I'm saying by the end of the year, once he gets his fundamentals down,
yeah.
That dude was a disruptor. It didn't matter what team, the offensive lineman he was going against.
It's true, but even our best offensive linemen aren't good. So it is tough. You kind of got to temper while also lifting up, noting that kid came in ready to play, was already a factor. That's a fair assessment. Noting that he's making plays against a substandard offensive line is also fair. So you kind of just, that's the thing.
What's stunning to me about that particular player, though, is if you look at his fundamentals, and I'm not telling you as an expert, I'm telling you based upon what I heard Coach Odell Hagan saying to him.
Correct.
They were terrible. And yet the kid, and that's fine.
Yeah, he's getting by on physical tools.
He's a true freshman, right? So that's supposed to, and he's an early enrollee at that. So that's not a besmirching of the kid.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's the case, and yet you're still making plays, what the hell are you going to be when you're refined as a football player? You might be somebody who climbs into that top 4.
And he'll be bigger and stronger. And
right.
I hope, my hope for all of these guys that looked good in this last class is that they don't have to come in and play right away. I just hope they get an opportunity to come in, mature, grow, get bigger, get stronger. If some of them are destined to play a few snaps a game and get some experience along the way, especially against lesser tier teams, that's great too. I don't want us to be at such a talent deficit that kids that come in are immediately capable of being thrust into starting roles because we're that vanquished of elite level talent. I mean, it drives me nuts.
Except for AZ Thomas, right? Like he might be an exception where you say, well, that kid might have found some reps in most situations. If he continues on the trend,
I think he has a chance to start this year. Now,
Yep.
There's a kid that I will overstate perhaps my expectations for him by saying to you, I think he has a good chance to start by midseason for sure, maybe sooner.
Yeah, you have precedent with Amarian Cooper, who was not even an early enrollee and was developed to the point that by November he was a starter for you, and he was a huge upgrade.
Yeah, and it's also historically, it's a position where that can happen. Unlike offensive and defensive line, historically it can happen.
Yeah,
where guys like that can come in and physically be ready. They'll have the requisite speed, in his case, length and size. He's got all of those things. There's a smoothness to his game. I know we've said it till we're red in the face. I mean, it is unbelievable. We were both pretty well in awe at the way that he plays the game. Just, it seems effortless the way he plays the game.
And don't get me wrong, and I think I'm speaking for you as well. It wasn't perfect. There were some, moments where he got roasted and taught a lesson or two, but it's just he bounces back, and you're like, okay. So he absorbs that. It doesn't go between the ears, and then he's lost for the rest of practice. It's like, okay, no problem. Let me do this. All right, we got that now. Next. He's a quick learner.
Yep, quick learner and talent for days. And listen, we've ignored McCall here, who I think has a chance to play a lot of significant reps as well.
He's got a little bit more of an edge to his game.
He's nasty, man. He can be.
Like Thomas is a little bit more stoic and just good, and that's great. That's one way to do it. McCall can get a little nasty, which is good. You need to have that as well.
Yeah, I think so. And I think that's a kid that if you plug and play with him, the problem you are going to have is he's going to make mistakes in coverage, but he is going to come up and hit you. Like, he's going to do everything fast. He's going to do everything with a great intensity that will match the requisite speed you have to play at, right? He will already have that. He may be in the wrong place, but he's going to hit your ass.
But yes, it's more of a typical freshman where he's going to piss you off at times, and he's just going to make a play that you go, oh, well, who makes that play? That kid makes that play. I'm willing to go with the growing pains because he can do this. AZ, I think the bell curve is not quite as wide. It's like he's going to be solid.
Where would you put? I got asked this yesterday because I think it came from a place. The question came from a place of despair, and I get it. Where they were coming from, I get. Because I think we all felt it, and I hate to relive this because we just got done talking about it. But Tom, I haven't talked to you about it, so I want to venture down this road again for a second. When the softball team lost, after being 32-0 against non-conference foes. And they not only lose, but they lose in this round to that 25-loss Mississippi State team. I mean, get the hell out of here with that, right? It felt an awful lot like one more time running kick to the cojones. Are you kidding me? There's not much we have going for us these days at Florida State to fall back on that you can trust almost implicitly. And then that happens, right?
Yeah, I even got hurt yesterday by the golf team losing in extra holes.
The 19th hole, the women.
Yeah.
Men teeing it up on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And Greyhawk is a good course for them. They're having fun out there. They're loose. They feel good. Brett Roberts finally stepped up. He was a kid who came in with huge praise and did not get off to the start that he was hoping for. When we played down in South Florida, he was a kid that got off to a slow start and then backed it up with 67-68, won the individual. He's playing well now. They've got some of the other kids rising up.
Ketchup is solid. And he didn't play that well, in the previous round,
there.
so you feel good about this next one.
Well, they brought themselves all the way back and cruised into the national championships because of how well they played the bear trap. They were even par. Everybody else was well over. So they played great. Now, the point would be let's see what happens with them. They're a good team. They're not your odds-on favorite to win it. The women losing is heartbreaking because they played so well, and then to lose on the 19th hole is very, very difficult, extra hole.
Yeah.
But they were not going to beat Stanford, and they were not going to beat Oregon in all likelihood. It's the 1-2 seed. By the way, the 1 seed has never won since the inception of this in 2015 for women's golf. It's crazy. You've had a couple 4 seeds win. Duke was the highest-ranked team to win as a 2 seed in 2019. This Stanford team is said to be perhaps the greatest women's golf team ever assembled.
Right.
And we'll see if they win it.
It would be akin to if in 97 Tiger wins the Masters by how many shots? 15, whatever it is. He wins it, and then he's still got to go play a match against the runner-up, and he loses 1-up because he played a bad
round.
Yeah, bad round.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
You're like,
right?
what the hell? He just pasted the field. How is he not the winner of this tournament? That's the way that they settle a national
When you
championship.
get into match play, man, it's weird. I could be better than you, and have a better round than you, let's say, and you beat me. It's like skins. You could win the day.
I know that people have been begging for this across the country. Here's how I would revise how the NCAA golf meets out their champion. If you are playing a 1-8 matchup in the match play and you beat that team by 20 shots, there should be a 2-shot rule. You win a hole forever, and you can assess them however you like. You place them. So in match, you're 1-up with a 2-shot victory over the previous team because you're playing 4 days.
Yeah.
It's 4 days. We know who the best team is after 4 days. You don't need 2 more. Anyway.
We shall see. We shall see as far as how the men play. But going back to my point was that you fall, you almost fall to your knees when that softball team loses. And kudos to Lonnie again.
That hurt.
For not expressing any frustration whatsoever with the umpire situation at first base and all that. I mean, she was a class act. That would have been tough for me to do. Now, that hurt for a lot of reasons because there's no getting around for all of the praise, lauding them for their successes, noting the significance of the program, the stability, and the year in, year out success. That's a choke. That's a giant choke. There's no way around that.
Yeah.
That team that beat them's not any good. That is a choke. Now that hurts. That hurts. Somebody then, and this is what was the impetus for the question. If FSU athletics were stocks, name the one that's going up. And here's what hurts, because the soccer team wins the national championship, but then the coach leaves. So you can't even revel in that as an upwardly mobile stock because that's going to take a hit. Then you turn around and you would say the softball team you can trust, as I said, implicitly to win and get out there, at least compete for an opportunity to play for the national title.
I had plans to be out there this weekend, and those were dashed.
Yes.
Got an opening.
Yeah, there you go. Let's go play golf. Now, that said, there you have it. All right. So, though, not upwardly mobile. Then the baseball team, God, no. The football program. Yes? Is it the football program?
Ooh, wait a minute.
Because guess what? The women's softball, the volleyball team, they do the same damn thing every year. They're good. They're steady, but then they lose. So, we're appreciative of their success. It is volleyball, but beach volleyball at that. But hey.
Maybe the tennis teams. But yeah, you're right. Like, so if softball or soccer was $100 stock, it's not going up right now.
No.
Agreed. Because softball's got too much turnover to bet on it.
Correct.
That way.
Yeah.
Football is probably like a $6 stock, but it's probably going to be a $9 or a $10 stock by the end of September. That's what I'm betting on.
People are going to read into that as he's predicting us to win 9 games. He said it.
No. Although W's and L's I did twice, so that's fair.
You did, and you didn't believe it.
But you tell me what I believe.
I don't think you believe they're going to win 9 games.
Okay.
I don't believe that.
My colors don't run.
I'm just don't start. Not today. I'm just here. I'm saying this.
Garnet and gold, man.
Yeah. I'm just telling you. 9. You're not saying that. I would say we're saying
well,
that.
we weren't a $6 stock last year. We were a $5 stock. So that wouldn't hold. That analogy, yeah. Fair enough.
Oh, man. I'm laughing.
The men's golf team is a stock that's going up.
They continue.
That's fair.
Yeah.
They've got enough young talent. They're a little ahead of schedule, wouldn't you say?
Preston, I wouldn't do it. I would just talk about whatever I wanted to talk about. I'd talk about weird discoveries. He said we're going to be forced to talk about the Shuffleboard team before long. Let me tell you something. I don't know how that would work, but if there were a Shuffleboard team, I would enroll in a course at FSU so that I could try out for the shuffleboard team. I am a badass shuffleboard and Jesse. You're talking about a guy who basically grew up on St. Pete Beach. I've seen some shuffleboard. I've seen it played at the highest levels amongst nasty, savvy, gutty 80-year-olds swigging liquor, betting large sums of money, shirt off, all day, every day. Let's get it on, Tony.
Games
Come
dominoes
on,
in between, right?
Let's bring it. And that was the best growing up experience ever. You always talk about, well, I learned a lot in my youth. Watching those old guys get after it at the park or down at the beach. When I worked at the Don, it's not there anymore. When I worked at the Don Cesar, the Don's still there, but the particular shuffleboard court I'm talking about is no longer there, sadly. I used to go out there during my lunch breaks and play with those guys all the time. And they loved it. I was the young kid. They're like, hey, Jeff, come on out there. And they would drink these tall-ass Coors Lights all day long. These old dudes talking smack, money piled up on the side. It was the best.
Saying vulgar things, I'm sure.
Oh, wildly inappropriate things. But it would crack me up. It was the best.
If you had to play, and I'll count outdoor shuffleboard as a bar game, just for the sake of
it was
argument.
outdoor shuffleboard, yeah.
Tabletop shuffleboard, darts, pool, I guess for my generation's sake, beer pong, that would never be your choice.
No.
Or outdoor shuffleboard for your life. What would you play?
So beer pong's not a choice. What were the others? Darts?
Well, it is a choice, but you would never choose that because of generation.
Yeah, you said darts.
Darts, pool,
There was a time
outdoor
I was a good
shuffleboard,
dart
or
player.
tabletop shuffle, the indoor shuffleboard game. Shuffle shot.
Outdoor shuffleboard.
Okay.
I was good.
If I threw in foosball or air hockey.
Foosball sucks. I was good at air hockey. Foosball sucks.
Outdoor shuffleboard for your life?
I think so. I think so. There's a little too much randomness for my liking. Like, I want to eliminate randomness if my life is on the line, and I want it to be solely based on execution and skill. But there are very few sports where that holds up across the board, where your expertise and execution and ability to execute under pressure are solely the defining elements of who wins and who loses.
8-ball, 9-ball?
No. Shuffleboard. Outdoor shuffleboard. You're right. For you, beer pong?
Probably, or air hockey. And I know air hockey's random too, but I can get in a groove in air hockey. That puck used to fly over poor Paul's. It would fly into the
yeah.
Nearly some fights.
I remember having my hand, you get your nails.
Yeah.
Popped. Oh yeah.
I mean, we'd have wars. It would turn off at 1-0. The machine
he's like, we're done here.
Yeah, we have to put in more money to finish the game.
When you got the good puck. You had to have the good puck. You can't have that shaky, dry-ass puck that isn't,
There's one side. There's always a good side. But the good ones had two good sides.
Oh, those are the ones that went flying every which way to Sunday. Yeah, it was like,
Poor Joel at the bar. I got him twice. If you ever walk into Port Paul's, that's a shot because he was in the far, far side.
The best. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Congratulations to all the class of 2022 graduates. If you'd like to send a congratulations message over the air to your graduate, just call the Lively Technical College Grad Star line at 850-523-7890. That's 523-7890 to leave a message, and we'll play it on the radio as much as we can. No cost, no gimmicks. Just call 850-523-7890 and leave us your messages for a graduate and your family. Congratulations from Lively Technical College.
Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue just north of Havana is your final destination for hamburger excellence. But what if you don't know which burger to try? Captain Kenny has turned off the no smoking sign and has a 3-burger flight to help you make your decision. Put down that tray table and let your taste buds fly. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue, 1 mile north of the last light in Havana. Highway 27 Grill and Barbecue. Get your fill at the grill.
When I get home from work, I'm ready to relax. So I call Swain Pools and Spas and put my pool in the back. I call Swain Pools and Spas. Now I'm soaking up the fun when I want to.
Truckloads of new and used Caldera and Hot Spring Spas are available now at Swain Pools and Spas. Don't wait. Get to Swain Pools and browse the best inventory to find the spa of your dreams. These won't last long, so come see us today. Just look for the huge sign on Tharp Street or call 386-7113 for Swain Pools and Spas.
I know what you're thinking right now. Where can I find a place to get my car fixed and also check out some awesome new hot tubs and spas while I wait? Well, you're in luck. Because when you bring your car or truck in to get serviced at Tallahassee Car Care, it's under the same roof as Swain Pools and Spas for tires, brakes, batteries, tune-ups, oil changes, and all the service you need to get back on the road. Choose the certified technicians at Tallahassee Car Care. Drop by our shop on Tharp Street or visit online at TallahasseeCarCare.com.
Hey Tallahassee, it's Sarah with Seminole Auto Glass. You're probably driving right now, which means you're surrounded by glass. Did you know that each piece is made differently? Your windshield is 2 sheets of glass with a thin plastic in between. This allows it to take an impact without going all the way through. Side and back glasses are typically tempered. This strengthening process is what allows them to be shattered in the event of emergency. Regardless of the glass or how it breaks, we can help. Trust your local auto glass experts. Seminole Auto Glass, proudly serving the Big Bend for over 15 years. Better call Seminole.
Dirty exterior? Don't scrub it. Wet it and forget it. Wet and Forget, the easy outdoor cleaner. Wet and Forget works over time with Mother Nature to eliminate unsightly black and green stains on the exterior of your home with no scrubbing, power washing, or bleach. Use Wet and Forget on all your outdoor surfaces, including decks, siding, roofs, and patios. Wet and Forget's available in a concentrate or extreme reach hose-in. Purchase Wet and Forget in store or online at Lowe's, Menards, Ace, or Walmart.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need and we'll handle the rest. Sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly. All for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
In the midst of all the conversation about what does the war of words between Saban and Fisher really mean, the lists season that I just got done referencing, coaching carousels, hot seats, and the like, all of it, transfer portal news that's not that much in the way of news, those kinds of things, although today's story is, and yesterday's, obviously getting D'Mitri Emmanuel is news. I am thankful that we start early this year. I have to tell you, when I think about the dread of the month of June, now June's normally a reason to celebrate. You all know this. It's my birthday month. But I think that typically, you're kind of like, whatever, we'll make it. We'll do what, we've got this, and this. June's going to feel long this year because we're so eager for the upcoming season and the competitions in camp. And because this year on the schedule, they did schedule Duquesne in August. They're starting even earlier. There's a pressing matter to take care of here, starting camp sooner. So you survive June. Once July hits, it's go time. We're going to be talking a lot about this. We'll be feeling it because you'll have ACC kickoff. You'll have all of that with the media days, but you'll also have everything pressed forward because of the position battles in camp and the early start to the season. You just got to come on, everybody. We got to help each other get through what remains of May. Not much after this weekend. Hell, we've got it. We got it. You just got to survive June.
Yeah, I agree. It's funny. During one of the segments, and you were talking about probably the depth chart or whatever it was specific to the roster. I looked down at the computer over here to my right.
You saw the date.
I did. And
May 25th or whatever.
And I said, in about 6 weeks' time, we're really gearing up. Like, that won't be go time just yet for everybody else. But for us as a staff preparing for the fall,
yeah, No, it'll be a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, and that translates, by the way, into just the daily conversation because there's an energy that comes with it, I think. And I think that fans can sense that and feel that. Look, again, is it ideal that they're playing Duquesne on August the 27th? Well, the Duquesne part, no. But the fact that they're starting the season on the 27th, we could ratchet things up by the time you get to late July. You're like, let's go. Let's get it on. They're showing up. We got camp. It's gonna start.
Yeah. So, for example, that means that camp starts a week earlier. And listen, I care more about camp than I do the takeaways from the Duquesne game.
In a weird way, maybe in a way that more than we ever have. I mean, it's relative. Yes, when you bring in a 5-star quarterback like Jameis Winston, you couldn't wait to see him, and camp perhaps provided you with other incentives because of the talent that you're going to bear witness to, as opposed to this. But this is competition at key positions.
Yeah, it's fact-finding because now the offensive line was already the first place I'd look because I wanted to see if Caden Lyles was going to be, let loose, so to speak. Was he going to be a present player in every day, in every situation? And what does that mean? What is he? Well, now D'Mitri Emmanuel is the second name in that same segment group. I'm going to be all over those trenches for the first couple of weeks.
Think about how weird it is, Tom. Sorry, but think about how weird this is. If, in fact, D'Mitri Emmanuel, Caden Lyles, and Bless Harris, if all three of those guys start.
That could be center to right tackle.
It really wouldn't surprise you.
No, it wouldn't. Darius might fit in there somewhere, but he might not. That's the thing. If you look across the position groups, second corner position, I mean, where is there more fundamental uncertainty than at offensive line? I don't think you could name a place.
Yeah.
Running back you even have down now. It's Warden Benson. Done. Receiver, it's going to be Pittman. Let's see if Winston Wright's healthy. That could be something for fall camp.
Watching him work out is encouraging. I don't know what it means to see him in a pool working out other than he's healthy enough to do so, and that's a good sign given the extraordinary nature of that accident, but it doesn't mean he's going to be ready to go.
You know your defensive interior. That's done. And you pretty much know what you're dealing with. You at least know the 4-man rotation. So that's done, and you rotate bodies throughout the game anyway at edge, depending upon down and distance. Secondary, you got your 2 safeties all set. You know exactly who those are. It's Dent, Jamie Robinson. Corner, you got one down. You're looking for another, and you're looking for a slot corner. Okay, that's interesting, but that's not as interesting as the offensive line shuffle. It's OL. That's what I can't wait to see at the end of July / beginning of August.
Well, and I think if you marry that, like the competition itself is always intriguing. Guys battling for position means that on a daily basis, when we go out to practice, there's an intensity. That's all fun, and that's fun to watch. I mean, at the core of football or any sport for that matter is competition, is like guys getting after it to try to win jobs or win a game or win whatever it might be, right? So it's encouraging the more you have of that. But the other part of that is, again, I think those are better. There's a chance those are appreciably better players than what you had. It's not just like who's going to fit in at guard and who's going to play center and who are going to shift over here. No, it's like those 3 guys could be appreciably better players than what you had starting for you a year ago. And what you had starting for you a year ago was impossibly bad in the second half of the season, which really makes it amazing. This is where I will compliment the hell out of this coaching staff. They had very little going for them last year in a lot of ways. In the second half of the season, you had, at least on paper, the much more difficult schedule. So on paper, you're going into games against the likes of Clemson on the road and others, obviously Florida and all these other. You had Miami here. You had all these tough games, right? North Carolina on the road, which I know you first guessed. No, but I'm saying that was the first half of the season. The second half of the season was the more difficult part of the season on the schedule. So you go into that. By the time you get there, you have suffered indignities. I mean, my God, you've lost, and you've lost to a team that nobody ever could fathom you could lose to. You've begun to lose some personnel due to injury. The quarterback you brought in at that time, we then began to realize was a disaster, a complete failure. He couldn't play a lick, not even a little bit. So all of a sudden you're like, man, the grand experiment, the thing we thought that could save us, he's useless. You didn't have hope because you also were watching the deterioration of your offensive line. Your center, each week that went by, was getting pushed further and further into the backfield. Him being as light as he was beginning to have a more impactful play-to-play, down-to-down, quarter-to-quarter impact on the game. So all of a sudden, you have to think to yourself, how in the world did they win the games they did, and how did they create a running game with that being the reality? You had a average passer, you have no real tight end presence, and zero in the way of elite ability at wide receiver. You are by definition one-dimensional, and you're able to run the ball, keep games close against elite teams, and win a few games nobody thought you could win. That is truly a compliment to this coaching staff. That is truly a compliment to this staff across the board.
Yeah, that you finished 5-3 and you're a possession away in 2 games going 7-1. Now, I know that's overly optimistic, but just think about that. Fathom that for a minute when you're talking about what you're talking about, offensively speaking.
Yeah.
Like, you look at the grades. Here's where PFF and I completely agree. Your RBK, your run blocking is terrible. However, your run grade is awesome. Your receiving grade is terrible. However, your run grade is awesome. How is that possible? And also, that's on the heels of being 0-4. So that tells you that nobody quit.
Well,
nobody quit on the coaching staff.
That's what I'm saying. You lost games you were supposed to win. You're going in the second half of the season with a schedule that screams loss, and yet you go 5-3. And you have injuries and setbacks along the way. And before you ever run a play, the other team knows you can't do something. It really is remarkable. That part is where I give them the most amount of praise and where I hold out the most amount of hope. Can you imagine if they create some semblance of balance? If somebody does emerge as a legitimate explosive threat somewhere along the way, if Benson is that guy, if somehow Pittman is that guy, and you develop aspects of an offense that you simply did not have, what might you do then if you did that with so much less?
Yeah, and it's not just about responding to 0-4, and I know he overuses that word, but it's true. Think of the microcosm of the season that the Miami game is. And you're off to it, really, you blow something. And it's just like they did the first month of the season. I get that they go up to a big lead, so let's not focus on that. Let's focus on the fact that they collapse, basically. And Miami, it's a slow bleed. And they've got a deflection, and it reminded me of the Carlos Williams play. Like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah. Is this our penance for the Carlos Williams 2014 catch that left Chris Fowler in shambles? And okay, now they've come back. They have the lead. They're going to get a first down. And you say, no, not effing tonight. Then we're not going to do that. Even though, yes, the lead is gone. They are winning the football game. They're a first down away from closing this thing. And they said no. So it wasn't just about responding to a bad month within the course of a game. And you know how demoralizing that is at home? More so than on the road, because you can feel it from your own fans. You're like, oh my God.
Well, and also when you haven't had anything in the way of a reason to believe that you're going to get that done. So you can't draw on some experience where you look back and go, yeah, I remember when we did this and pulled out a winning season out of nothing. No, you don't. No, none of you have done a damn thing worth celebrating. You haven't beaten that team. You haven't beaten Florida. You haven't beat any of these people that we want you to beat. You lose to every one of these teams we need you to beat all the time.
You remember when they didn't throw the flag and Jordan rolled out left and we beat Syracuse? We could do it again.
Like, that's what I mean, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have this moment where you go, well, I remember when we came back and beat Clemson. No, you don't. I remember when we beat Florida. No, you don't. I remember when we beat Miami. No, you don't.
That one hurt.
I remember when all these, you're like, no, you don't. You don't remember any of those because they didn't happen because you didn't win those games.
That's the other thing too. And I won't be overly effusive of Jermaine Johnson because we've already done that so much, but
as we should.
He had his signature moment at Clemson. Like, that's it. Also, that's the moment. And it was taken away. And there were a couple of questionable PI flags, but you couldn't get first downs either. So it was a complimentary way to blow that game, but he didn't quit. Even it's in November. His stock is secure. He's already way more valuable as an NFL asset than he was before. So the job is done in a sense. And yet he's the one who makes the play on third down against Miami to get you the ball back. Like,
it's unbelievable. It's a play that will, I think, in a lot of ways, as time goes on, become less and less referenced because it's in a nothing under 500 season for a player that played in one season in the Garnet and Gold. And yet it is as underrated a play as we get further and further removed from it, as it diminishes in importance because we're back to winning games and beating people and perhaps bringing in talent like Jermaine Johnson, and they glitter the field. One can dream. but it's a play that I will always hold near and dear to my heart.
Who won the Powerball in between then?
Because,
and why did they give it all to Florida State?
But just think about like how much you have to care. You transfer here. Surely you thought you were going to do better than what they were doing at the time. You know, surely you thought that this might be a team that, I don't know, competes possibly for the Atlantic Division. I mean, I don't know what his expectations were, but I don't think it was to go 5-7. So, like, how much you just have to love competing and want to win and lay it on the line to go make that play. In some ways, we shouldn't celebrate it so much because I would like to presume that anybody that's competitive at all that gets to this level of college football or any other sport at this level would lay it all on the line in order to win a game.
Not in that locker room here for the last 5 years.
That's what I mean. It hasn't happened. It hasn't happened. And things do get beat out of you. I mean, they do. I mean, when you've come across failure after failure after failure, even subconsciously, you may not know that you're not ratcheting it up to whatever degree we think is requisite in this situation because you're used to losing. If it gets losing, it happens all the time. Just like winning, if it gets winning, right? You start winning, you know certain things you have to do to win. The experience of teams that win, when they get in that moment, they harken back. They draw on those moments in time where they did get that done. This team has none of those things. And he was able to go over there and say, no. We're getting the ball back. I'm giving us a chance to win now. We may not, but I'm going to give us a chance to win. Makes me love him. Forever. I don't wear jerseys because I'm 50 and I'd look like an a-hole. But if I did, I'd have that dude's jersey.
As long as you tuck it into your jeans, it'll be fine.
With a rope belt? With a rope belt tucked in?
Mm-hmm.
And then, should I put my name or the player's name?
The player's name is fine. If it's Jermaine Johnson.
I do think hey, everybody, Jermaine Johnson's here. He's white and a lot smaller. But by the way,
he has M frames like me.
And Seminole socks with a plastic watch to match. What I was going to tell you was that as far as jerseys, and I don't wear them, the exception would be, I found it out this weekend because, again, there's an age difference between you and me. Your generation, very, very fond of jersey wearing. Everywhere I look, 30-something-year-olds in their jerseys. Hockey, you can always wear the jersey.
Absolutely.
Because it's cold in the arena. Mm-hmm. That's why. And when I was at the game on Sunday to watch us boat race Florida, I noticed virtually all of the people, certainly on the ice, not in club necessarily, were wearing jerseys. So
they give it to season ticket members too. It's like it's an incentive. They want people to be there.
No, I know. But I just love that you had jerseys from every era and you had different. Yeah, and I was like, you know what? This works. Normally, the guys I see at football games wearing jerseys, I'm like,
baseball ones are cool too. You know, in the summer, because those things are light.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't wear a Clemente. You don't have a Clemente.
I do have a Clemente.
You wouldn't wear one to the ballpark, and if you went to a game up there in July.
I wore my Clemente jersey to the Pirates game on Father's Day with my kids last year when we went up there. And Clemente, that's a different deal. It's Roberto Clemente. I mean, it's Clemente. It's not some slap ass.
It's not Nils Ekman.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not. Hey, look everybody, look at my Phil Garner jersey. Look, it's Tim Foley.
There is a class. Yeah.
I've
got a Gary Carter. Come on, that's got to qualify.
He's dead. You can wear it. Yep.
Oh, they have to be dead?
To do something, die tragically, perhaps. Clemente, humanitarian of all time.
What about founding a wing of a children's hospital? Because that's my Vinny jersey.
Oh, well,
I wore the Vinny one here on this very set.
Look, Cafe. No. You can wear hockey. That's what I'm telling you. Hockey gets a pass year round.
Mm-hmm.
You can wear hockey whenever you want. Now it'd be weird to do it in July, but you can do it.
Mm-hmm.
No problems. But I'm saying that was the exception. I realized that as I was walking around Amelie. It's like, you know what? Even these old dudes wearing jerseys don't look bad here. It seems fitting here. Now, a lot of times you go to a football game or a baseball game or a basketball game, you see it, you're like, come on, man.
So you tell me I can't wear my Barrett Ruud jersey?
I love that you have a Barrett Ruud jersey.
I don't.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah.
No, and then there's the ironical. People do that all the time too, right? They wear the jersey that they isn't that funny? You got the worst player in franchise history. And they become Tiger Woods somehow. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Georgia Governor Brian Kemp won the state's Republican primary for governor on Tuesday, beating back former President Donald Trump's handpicked challenger. Georgia Democrat Stacey Abrams secured the Democratic nomination after running unopposed, but on the Republican side, Trump personally recruited former Senator David Perdue to challenge Kemp. No state had more consequential elections this week than Georgia, a longtime Republican stronghold that has shifted Democratic in recent elections. Biden defeated Trump in Georgia by less than 12,000 votes in 2020, and Democrats narrowly won both Senate seats 2 months later. Here in Leon County, current City of Tallahassee Mayor John E. Daly, current Leon County Commissioner Kristen Dozier, Whitfield Leland III, and Michael Abraham participated in mayoral debate at the Capital City Country Club Tuesday. Nearly 200 people attended the first debate between the candidates, homelessness and rise in crime in the city, for just some of the topics discussed by the candidates. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Chance for scattered thunderstorms this afternoon. Otherwise, overcast skies. Highs level off around 86. South winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Chance for scattered thunderstorms tonight. Lows dip down to about 73. Overcast skies. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 84. Cloudy skies expected. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 86.
Hey, no fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
This is Dr. Ryan Finn from Finn Chiropractic. As a chiropractor, we correct subluxations. Here's the deal. Your brain runs the body through the nervous system. If a bone gets out of place or subluxates, it puts pressure on your nerves. These can cause headaches, neck pain, back pain, arm pain. With Finn Chiropractic, we turn your subluxation into relaxation with an adjustment. Come on by and see us or get in touch with us at finnchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com. Because your chiropractor loves you and there's nothing you can do about it.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Gentleman Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Good. I've heard it for a year or whatever. I haven't even bothered to talk to you about this.
Yeah, they I saw them live in Mexico.
Yeah, you did, didn't you?
They were among the top 3 or 4 bands I've ever heard in terms of professional sound. It sounds, what you hear on the record is what they sound like. It's pretty incredible.
Robert, I'll give you some prize picks, but I want to remind everybody out there that you go easy on this now. Just because I like to do this all the time doesn't mean you should. I just don't want to hear any nonsense. Get it together, everybody. You're grown-ass men. Make decisions for yourself. As an aside, I'd like to tell you about a decision. If you're looking for a house, make sure you look at my friends at Hamilton Home Loans, and you reach out, in fact, specifically to Chad and Shannon and say, yo, what am I going to do? The housing market's gone nuts. I need help. I need clarity. I don't want to be intimidated any longer, and I want a 5-star mortgage experience. And Shannon would say, I got you. That's what we do at Hamilton Home Loans. Thanks for calling 844 FSU Loan. I'm here. By the way, if you want to learn more about what we do, go to FSUHomeLoans.com. Chad, Shannon, legendary team, Hamilton Home Loans. This is a tournament, the Charles Schwab, and we'll touch on it momentarily. You need a break when you come down from a major. when you come down from a major, you need a different course. And what I mean by that is you need a course that doesn't play as similar to the course that was just played that decided the major. And they do a good job with that on the PGA Tour. They do typically have a course that is almost the antithesis of the course they just played. This week is an iron, I think the emphasis is on iron play much more than driving, and it's on putting, small greens. So this is a Daniel Berger course. If you're going to go and take a flyer, okay, Vaughn, you're good. That's really well done. If you're going to take a flyer on guys who are long odds to win this week, you can get guys find guys that have been elite iron players, and that's the strength of their game as opposed to off the tee or strokes gained around the green or things like that. I mean, you want guys that really strike irons, and that way it's a good course for Justin Thomas too. But in terms of the week, I do not think this is a week where we're going to be sitting back going, oh, look at that. The top 5 features some of the best players in the world. I think you're going to have 2 great players, and then you're going to go, who the hell is Doug Gergelson? He's in position to win today. I've never heard of Doug Gergelson. Doesn't seem like much of a player, but he loves this course.
That guy has to be the character in the next brand of Scope commercials for mouthwash. Don't be Doug Gergelson. Go with the one that 4 out of 5 dentists recommend.
Doug Gergelson, it was good.
This is disgusting.
I gotta give myself credit for Doug Gergelson. I'll give you some picks in a second. Let's do some probables. Cue it up.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Why is Doug Gergelson 5 under? Shot off the lead on a Sunday. This could change Gergelson's life.
I was going to give you Smiley Kaufman, and you just went straight fictional. And Gergelson's amazing.
Yeah. That's the 3rd time today he's gotten up and down from off the green there, short-sided himself. Gergelson loves this grass. He backs it up. Rockies and Pirates are in the 6th inning. Of course, the Rockies lead the Pirates 5-2. Zach Thompson started that game. He sucks to high heaven. Brian Feltner started for the Rockies. He sucks too. Tigers, Twins. Ronnie Garcia, but he spells his name wrong. Twins, Dylan Bundy. They're in the 3rd. That game's 0-0. Mets, Giants shortly. Thomas Zabucky and Jacob Junis. Zabucky making his first start for you guys.
Yeah, that's how hurt we are.
Dodgers, Nats, Julio Urias, Eric Feedy. A's, Mariners, Paul Blackburn, and Robbie Ray.
Hey!
Did you hear Director Matthew come through on Monday?
No.
It was a Miles Mikolas start, and he nailed it.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I'm going to do when we sign off.
Yeah. Brewers, Padres, Aaron Ashby, Yu Darvish. I didn't even give him a warning, Tom. I just did it. I was like, let's see if he does it. And he did it.
You just had the chutzpah to turn the mic on and go for it?
Yeah, he did. He was kind of proud of himself, too. It's rare that you see that out of him, but he was like, he knew he nailed it.
Getting a little weepy over
It was
here.
great. Yeah, he took charge. Cubs, Reds, Kyle Hendricks, Luis Castillo. Marlins, Rays, Cody Poteet. All right, Cody.
I feel like you got to say, Cody Poteet.
Where's Cody Poteet?
No. I guess that works too.
Yeah. Drew Rasmussen goes for the Rays. Orioles, Yankees, Tyler Wells, J.P. Sears, Phillies, Braves. Phillies got a huge home run from Bryce Harper last night. All for naught. They lost. Ranger Suarez going to start for the Phillies, and Charlie Morton going to start for the Braves. In perpetuity, Charlie Morton will start for somebody. Guardians, Astros, that's Cal Quantrill, Christian Javier. Red Sox, White Sox, Rich Hill, Lucas Giolito, followed up by Rangers, Angels. Glenn Otto of Glenn Otto. Hi, I'm Glenn Otto. And Reed Detmers, and that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump.
Glenn Otto is becoming a frequent probable guy.
He's on a lot, isn't he?
Yeah.
Glenn will start a game for you now. Wouldn't that be the best thing you could ever say about him? What do you know about Glenn Otto? He'll start. He'll start for you if you need him. You need a guy out there, Glenn Otto. Give him the ball. He'll take the bump.
What's funny is that's demeaning, but also
Respect. You can say that's.
And you could think about 2 or 3 guys in the last 10 years for your team. Every one of you out there.
Yeah,
he'll start a game for us.
He'll start a game for you. He'll eat some innings.
Yeah.
You can't count on him to win anything, but he'll be out
No,
there. Yeah,
no, not at all.
We need a guy today to take some punches. He'll give it a go. The course is set up for Jordan Spieth. It's set up for Webb Simpson at 40-1, guys. I'm going to give you Webb Simpson at 40-1. It is a personal play of mine. Now, when you lose with Webb Simpson, stay out of my messages. Don't send me an email or a tweet. Just own that loss because you're a grown-up. It's golf. You want another flyer? You want somebody way out there?
Yeah. I want a spicy lie. That's a flyer.
Kevin Kisner.
Okay.
100-1.
Yeah, and you're telling the story of the course. That sounds like a Kiz
I
course.
I told you the course. I'm not.
That sounds like you get Kisner around 20-1 in a top 10.
I'll give you a Nate Lashley at like 30-1. A little Nate Lashley for that ass.
Ooh, all right.
How about a Chris Kirk?
Wait a minute.
Hey, how about a Chris Kirk at 50?
Not the right name for that.
I'm going to give you Chris Kirk at 50-1. I'm going to give you Riley, Davis Riley, right? I'm going to give you Riley.
He's coming
playing
off
well
of,
lately.
I know, but he blew it down the stretch. He doubled 18.
He shouldn't have been in position. He's Davis Riley. What the hell, man?
You wonder if he's a little shaky.
I think he's all right. This course is for him. Webb Simpson, Riley, Fleetwood's at 40-1 playing well these days. Fleetwood's playing well all of a sudden. There was a time we had high hopes for Fleetwood. Those times evaporated. Then all of a sudden he looks like he's playing again.
If he's going to win, he's going to do what he did the day that Brooks held on, which is shoot 63 on a Sunday and be like, oops, I won. That's how I won my major.
Do you think I have a problem if I tell you that I like Marcus Emeritage at 55-1 at the Dutch Open?
Wait a minute. Is the Dutch Open, is that
Ryan Fox at the Dutch Open? What have I told you?
Dutch Open like something from UrbanDictionary.com, or is that really a thing?
It's a real thing. Like Haitong Lee at 66-1.
Oh, that's Haotong. Yeah, Haotong Lee.
66-1 in the Dutch Open. Feeling good about Haotong?
If I tune in to Golf Central on Sunday, I see that Haotong Lee took down the Dutch and I didn't play it. I'm going to be so mad.
Cameron came through. Big Daddy Jay, way to go. Good work out of you, sir. Good work, Matthew. Be well, everybody. I'll talk to you tomorrow.